King Midas and the Golden Touch by Odin, Raz, and McKinley. King Midas and his Golden Touch. Background. The story of King Midas is a myth about the tragedy of greed and narrates what happens when true happiness is not recognized. Midas was a man who wished that everything he touched would turn into gold. The phrase "the Midas touch" comes from this myth and is used to say that somebody has good fortune. Midas was a king of great fortune who ruled the country of Phrygia in Asia. Even though he was very rich, Midas thought his greatest happiness was provided by gold. His greed was so big that he used to spend his days counting his golden coins. One day, Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry, passed through the kingdom of Midas. Selenius got tired and decided to take a nap in the famous rose garden surrounding the palace of King Midas. There he was found by the king, who recognized him instantly and invited him to spend a few days in his palace. After Midas took Dionysus, the god of celebration, very grateful to Midas for his kindness, promised Midas to satisfy any wish of him. Midas thought for a while, then he said, "I hope that everything I touch becomes gold." Dionysus warned him to think well about his wish, while Midas was positive. Dionysus could do nothing else and promised the king that following day, everything he touched would turn into gold. The next day, Midas woke up eager to see if his wish would come true. He extended his arm, touching a small table that immediately turned into gold. Midas jumped with happiness. When he touched the rose, it became gold. Without even thinking, he ate a grape, but it also turned gold. The same happened with a slice of bread and a glass of water. Then suddenly, he started to sense fear. Tears filled his eyes, and at that moment, his daughter walked in. And then Midas hugged her. She turned into a gold statue and raised his arms and prayed to remove the curse from him.
No!
Dionysus heard Midas and felt sorry for him. He told Midas to go to the river Pactolus and wash his hands. Midas did so. He ran to the river and he was amazed to see the gold flowing from his hands. When he went home again, everything was normal. Midas had touched had become normal again. Midas hugged his daughter in full happiness and decided to share his great fortune with his people. From now on, Midas had become a better person, generous and grateful for all the goods in his life.
One go.
Why each character is important? King Midas. Midas is an important character in the story because he is the main character of the story. And the wish he made leads to unforeseen consequences, which he later regrets, and we learn a moral from.
Okay, stop.
Okay, Selenius is an important character because without his action in Midas returning him to Dionysus, which earns Midas the wish he would later make.
Marigold, Midas' daughter, is important because she made Midas realize his greed and made him regret the wish that he had made.
The story of King Midas and the Golden Touch connects to modern life by serving as intelligence, greed, and pursuit. The myth teaches that desires for wealth can lead to unseen, tragic consequences, showing the importance of wisdom, moderation, and gratitude to one's own desires. The story of King Midas and his Golden Touch demonstrates that greed can destroy relationships, which focus on the idea that true happiness comes from love, connection, and simple joys rather than material things. Midas learns it the hard way when his greedy desire for wealth tragically turns his daughter into a gold statue. The Midas myth warns students that if you only chase gold, like grades, trophies, or popularity, you might lose the things that actually matter to you, like learning, friendships, health, and happiness. The myth also brings up consequences of their impulsive choices in school, like making a wish without peace. The students might make fast decisions like cheating on a test, skipping traffic, posting something online that short-term gain with long-term problems.
Alright, let's